Why was Satan so obsessed with Moses' body? Believe it or not, Moses transcends mere mortality to become an immortal icon whose story defies logic at every turn. Imagine an heir to the throne turned shepherd, then a rebel against an empire, and finally, a messenger of eternal laws that shaped civilizations. A survivor from the cradle, defying the death decrees of a tyrant with nothing but his existence, Moses is the protagonist of a story that begins with a miracle so bold it borders on the absurd. Saved by the hands of those seeking his downfall, he leads us on a journey of liberation and divine mysteries. But why would a figure as obscure as Satan be obsessed with him? Moses' years were punctuated by the supernatural, and even his farewell to this world was shrouded in wonders. The scriptures tell us he departed at the age of 120, but with clear vision and vigor intact. Most intriguing, however, is that the location of his final resting place remains a secret to this day. His life, which blossomed amid mysteries, concluded its cycle in an equally enigmatic manner. So who was this Moses? Why was his existence a fabric of mysteries? Exploring his saga, we embark on an expedition that crosses not only chronology, but the core of faith, mystery, and heavenly destiny. Are we prepared to unravel the legend of Moses? Satan's obsession with Moses was not without reason. Designated as the liberator of the Hebrews, God's chosen people, Moses was destined to pave the way for the eventual arrival of the Messiah, Jesus Christ. For Satan, an adversary of divine designs, Moses represented a colossal obstacle. If he could thwart him, perhaps he could sabotage God's grand scheme. In the eternal battle between light and darkness, Moses was a key piece. His saga teaches us that regardless of our past or failures, there is a divine purpose for all of us, and no force, not even the most malevolent, can stop us when our journey is guided by faith. The enigma surrounding the end of Moses invites us to ponder the relevance of our choices and how, even in adversity, we are protagonists of a greater narrative, orchestrated by heavenly hands. This story transcends the past. It is a call to recognize our own path of faith, bravery, and mission. Moses, with his impressive trajectory, motivates us to continue, convinced that no matter how arduous our struggles, we are never alone. Moses, that man of unwavering faith who stood on the verge of completing one of the most epic missions in history, saw his destiny altered in the final moments of his journey. His life, a true epic of courage, mysteries, and divine interventions, culminates in an ending that stirs our emotions and challenges our understanding. The supreme leader of the Israelites, Moses led them through the vast desert, faced the arrogance of Pharaoh, split the Red Sea in half, and ascended Mount Sinai, where God's words were engraved on stone tablets. After so many miracles, surmounted challenges, and demonstrations of faith, why was he denied entry into the land flowing with milk and honey? Moses, the pillar supporting a nation's hope, witnessed God's power manifest through heavenly manna and water emerging from stone. But one day, at the turbulent waters of Meribah, the people's impatience and Moses' frustration triggered a decisive moment. The incessant complaints of the people echoed in his heart, and even in the face of divine promise, a lapse of anger clouded his judgment. God had ordered him to speak to the rock, an act of pure faith and obedience. However, whipped by pressure, Moses struck the rock, unleashing miraculous waters, yes, but also sealing his own fate. The miracle was overshadowed by a divine reprimand. The lack of trust in God, demonstrated in that act of impulsiveness, would be the reason Moses would see but not enter the promised land. At the foot of Mount Nebo, with the promising panorama of the Jordan Valley unfolding before his eyes, Moses contemplated his people's future home. God revealed to him the abundant land, stretching from Gilead to Dan, a glimpse of a fulfilled promise he would not tread. This moment, full of majesty and melancholy, marks not just the end of Moses' earthly journey, but also serves as a powerful reminder that even the most faithful and dedicated are subject to the consequences of their actions. Moses' trajectory, from the waters of the Nile to the views from Nebo, is a testament to the complexity of faith, leadership, and human fragility. Yet, his legacy transcends the bitterness of this final episode. Moses teaches us about perseverance in the face of the impossible, the importance of obedience and trust in God, and the transformative power of faith. His story is an invitation to reflect on our own journeys, the challenges we face, and how we respond to them. Although Moses did not step foot in the Promised Land, he led us there through his story, offering lessons that resonate through time and inspire us to move forward with faith and determination towards our own promised destinies. The vision Moses had of the Promised Land before his last breath is heart-wrenching. From that high point, he could see the realization of dreams that fed generations. Yet, he knew his feet would never touch that sacred soil. The narrative of his death, as reported in the scriptures, presents us with an image of serenity and a mysterious farewell, where Moses, the faithful servant of the Eternal, is buried by God in Moab, away from the eyes of the world. His tomb, unmarked by monuments or shrines, remains unknown, an eternal enigma that resonates with the humility Moses demonstrated in life. The divine decision to keep the resting place of Moses a secret perhaps speaks to our hearts about the essence of faith, which transcends physical symbols and sacred places. The contention around Moses' body, mentioned in the Epistle of Jude, adds layers of depth to the already complex legacy of this prophet. The intervention of the Archangel Michael against Satan, though brief, highlights the magnitude of the spiritual struggle surrounding the memory and meaning of Moses. This confrontation may seem distant or abstract, but it brings to light fundamental reflections on the forces that shape our world and our faith. The possibility of Satan desiring to profane Moses' body speaks volumes about the ongoing battle between the sacred and the profane, between light and darkness. This attempt at dishonor is not just against the man Moses, but against everything he represented: fidelity to God, the delivery of the law, and the leadership of a people on the brink of the Promised Land. The other hypothesis, that the body could become an idol, reflects the human tendency to divert worship from the Creator to the creature, a recurring theme that challenges followers of faith to keep their focus on the divine. This story, intertwined with mystery and meaning, invites us to contemplate not just the life and legacy of Moses, but also the nature of our own faith. The episode reminds us that, far beyond our earthly struggles, there are spiritual battles whose consequences echo through history and in our lives. Moses' legacy, therefore, transcends his mortality. It continues to inspire us, to challenge us, and to remind us of the eternal struggle between good and evil, truth and falsehood, sanctity and profanation. Thus, as we reflect on the story of Moses, we are led to consider the immense impact of our own lives and beliefs, encouraged to fight for the faith that has been entrusted to us, and to stand firm in the face of adversities, keeping our gazes fixed on what is eternally true and sacred. Satan's attempt to claim Moses' body can be interpreted as a fascinating chapter in the eternal battle between the divine and the profane, illustrating the extent of the conflict between God's purposes and the machinations of evil. Moses, the living emblem of God's law, represents much more than his earthly existence. He symbolizes the covenant between God and his people, the promise of deliverance, and the moral foundation upon which society should stand. His body, therefore, was not just a repository of bones and flesh, but a potent symbol of divine authority, law, and order. And Satan's claim over Moses' body could thus be seen as a maneuver to usurp this powerful symbol in an attempt to subvert the divine order and proclaim a kind of dominion over the law that Moses represented. As the accuser, he might have been seeking to exploit Moses' human flaws, His moment of doubt at Meribah, the incident with the rock, or the act of taking an Egyptian's life, to justify his claims, disregarding the essence of the divine message, which is grace and forgiveness. However, the response of the Archangel Michael, "The Lord rebuke you," resonates as a powerful reminder that ultimate authority rests with God, and that salvation and redemption are not granted on human merits, but by divine grace. This episode teaches us that, despite our failings, God views us through the lens of his mercy and purpose. Moses' leadership, marked by his faithfulness, humility, and obedience, serves as a model for us all. He was a man who, despite his insecurities and mistakes, followed God's guidance with unwavering courage. His life encourages us to deeply trust in the divine, to remain humble before our responsibilities, and to follow divine instructions with dedication. The controversy surrounding his body after death amplifies the magnitude of his faith and leadership, emphasizing that the true challenges and conflicts we face transcend the physical, entering the spiritual realm. This account not only extols the legacy of Moses, but also reinforces the idea that in our journey, we will face adversities that test our faith and conviction. The dispute over Moses' body reminds us of the constant struggle between light and darkness, good and evil, and the importance of standing firm in faith, trusting that in the end, divine truth will prevail. Moses, with his life full of challenges and victories, inspires us to carry our cross with dignity, knowing that our faith and our relationship with God are the true treasures we must protect and cherish above all else. If you liked this video, leave a like, comment what you thought, and subscribe to the channel. Activate notifications so you don't miss any videos. Until next time, and God bless you.